So before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask you. If you love what you hear today, take a second, hit that subscribe button, and leave us a 5-star review. And share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it. Your support helps this podcast grow and helps us bring on more amazing guests who are here to inspire and empower you. So don't forget to tag us on social media when you're listening. I love seeing what resonates with you. Hello, fellow mompreneurs. Welcome to the Real Moms Podcast, the go-to space for resilient entrepreneurs who are striving for abundant living. I'm your host, Shae Spitz, a mompreneur and a realtor here in Columbus, Nebraska. Are you a mom juggling the hustle of entrepreneurship, family life, and personal growth? Well, you're in the right place. On this podcast, we dive deep into the real, unfiltered stories of incredible women who are navigating the journey of mompreneurship. We'll celebrate the victories, share practical insights, and acknowledge that it's okay to face challenges along the way. Success isn't about the destination. It's about the journey and the growth we experience as we balance our careers and the chaos of family life. Whether you're a seasoned mompreneur or just starting on this exciting path, join me and our amazing guests as we explore what it truly means to be a resilient entrepreneur striving for abundant living. Get ready for real, raw, and remarkable conversations that will inspire and uplift you. Because here at the Real Moms Podcast, we believe in the power of community, authenticity, and the strength that comes from embracing the journey together. So grab your coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's dive into the world of mompreneurship. This is the Real Moms Podcast, where we celebrate the hustle, honor the struggle, and thrive as resilient entrepreneurs living abundantly. Welcome to another episode of Real Moms Podcast. I like to start every podcast off with a motivational quote, and today's quote is, "It's okay to pivot and lean into what you want to do, even if it doesn't make sense at the time. Give it 5 years and you'll get that 20/20 hindsight." So after having 5 kids in 10 years, Alyssa Wolff went looking for her next challenge and found online business. She is now a take your time back coach for other work from home moms who want to love their work from home lives again. She helps them spend time cuddling their kids, spend more time cuddling their kids, less time cleaning up after them, get the workouts, journaling, and hobby time they need every single day, be able to deep dive work for hours guilt-free as they scale their business and up their revenue, not their hours. So Alyssa, thank you so much for being here. And tell me a little bit about your journey into where you're at today and what you were doing prior.
Thank you for having me, Shae. Yeah, this is a fun journey because I said I was never going to be an entrepreneur. Of course, teenagers don't always know the best, do they? So I always had this deep desire, like, I want to do something more with my life. I was thinking maybe mentoring, but this is me at 16 or 17 going, I don't know, who in the world can I mentor? Like middle school girls? So I'm like, okay, I'll go to college, I'll get a degree, I'll get a job, a career, and then when I've got enough experience, probably the right thing will appear. So I started in my degree. Shoot, I hate this. After all the hours I've spent poring over college catalogs, I'm not going to make it through my senior year at practicum teaching. I've got to get out of this. So I found the only major that I did enjoy at the college, which would not lead to a marketable job. I'm like, okay, I guess I can shoot for studying what I love, but there's no master's, there's no job security. What in the world am I going to do? I think I'd have to pivot to the backup plan. I want to be a mother, so let's just get started on the having kids and getting married front, and then hope this purpose thing comes along later. So that's exactly what I did. Went off and got married at 19, had my first kid at 20, and started having those 5 kids in 10 years.
Wow. So what degrees were you doing, or what classes were you taking in college that, one, didn't fulfill you, and then 2, what was the other one that you did enjoy, but there was no end goal?
I thought I would enjoy elementary school teaching because I had subbed and helped in my parents' classes tons. I was like, see, I'm really familiar with the environment. I know exactly what to do. It turns out there's a lot of difference between the teacher's assistant doing whatever they tell you and you being in charge of the class and coming up with everything yourself.
Yes, absolutely. So that was your first direction
Yes.
in college. Okay, so what was the pivot to the second direction?
So I pivoted to the classic interdisciplinary because it was like being told you can have 4 minors and then you have this convenient clump of classes I could throw all the elementary stuff in, so I didn't lose any time in my degree, and in fact I accelerated it. So I ended up studying things like cross-cultural and Bible and psychology, stuff that sounded interesting, but I psychology. I was like, I'm never going to do this as a career. I do not want to go into all the isms and weird brain things. I know I don't want that, but some psychology classes, oh yes, absolutely, sign me off.
Yes. So in the 10 years that you were having babies and raising kids, were you working at the time?
No, it was full-time, stay at home, learn to cook hundreds of entrees, set up all the productivity stuff and cleaning routines and homeschooling and being like, what else am I supposed to be doing? I want more than this. I want more than this. I guess I gotta live into the life I've got now. I'm bored. Okay, I'll have another kid. Okay, that'll fix it for a little while. Then you get bored, so have another kid.
Isn't that true though? Because like I do see a lot of people like they are exhausted with their kids, but then they're like, oh, but they give me fulfillment and purpose and all of those things. So then they have another one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my sister's one of them. She's got like 6 kids. I'm like, stop. But I do feel that a lot of people, because going back to your bio, you said that you want to help women love their lives at home again. And I think that's interesting that you say that, because I do believe, I've never been a stay-at-home mom. I just know that's not for the weak by any means. Like that takes some mental health or mental grit, mental strength, all of the things. So I knew that I was not built for that at all. But I do feel that a lot of times women and people who stay home with the kids start to lose that sense of identity on who they are because they become a mom. Then that is their role, is mom. Who is Alyssa? Who is Shae? And so then they start getting that itch. And it's interesting because a lot of times I see people who were stay-at-home moms end up becoming such strong, independent entrepreneurs. And because they know what it's like to have that grit. You have to have that every day when you're staying home with kids, especially when you're teaching them, because God bless you. But so after that, what kind of got you to doing what you're doing now?
Baby number 5 was 6 months old. I was listening to podcasts as usual, and I heard one of them talk about online business. I had never heard about online business before. I was like, wow, yes, sign me up for your free podcast, bootcamp, whatever series on how you start an online business. This is intriguing. And eventually I was like, okay, listen, Alyssa, the reason you think this is intriguing is because you're thinking of stepping out and doing business yourself. Just the very thing you said you would never, ever do. No side hustle, nothing. I was like, but I really like the sound of this, because this is saying you can go out, you can give back to the world, you can mentor from the comfort of your own home. Like I don't have to give up staying home with my kids, and I could do it right now, not wait 17 years till a 6-month baby graduates from high school. So here's the choice. Would you like to say, this is intriguing to me, I feel like purpose is pushing me, and I'm chicken, and I'm going to wait 17 years, and maybe I'll start when I'm 50? Or should I go for it now, despite the complication of 5 kids at home with me? So, of course, me being me, I was like, let's see if I can start it now, because I also feel like I've got too much time on my hands and I'm tired of getting up at night with newborns, so I'm not going to have any more kids.
I'm going to start a business so I don't have an excuse to have more kids because I'm bored. That's what I'm hearing. Yes. Okay, so you decided to take this boot camp, and then how did it happen from there? And then what was your relationship like with your husband when you're also growing? Because I know when things change in a relationship that there can be challenges and hurdles and maybe a little bit of resistance, or maybe not as much support as the wife or the other person was hoping for. Did you have any of that through that process?
Back to the first question. So I gave myself like a month to decide, research, go down all the online business rabbit holes, all the startup guides.
A month? Oh my goodness. Sometimes you got to give yourself like 5 years, like you said in your quote, but no, keep going.
So at the end of that, I was like, yes, I feel like I have enough information to make a considered decision. I would still like to move forward. Boom. Started everything. And then my husband's attitude was, honey, you're handling the house. If you can still handle house and kids and homeschooling and you think you can add business on top of it, it's not for me to say what you can and can't do. Go for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that makes a big difference when you have that support from your significant other. Especially, I'm sure he was thinking like, oh, as long as I'm not having to step away, because is he still working, I'm assuming then?
Oh yeah, he works.
Okay.
So it was as long as I didn't decrease anything, sure, fine. Like he's not going to tell me what I can and can't do in business. I'm still alone in how I work through it, learn all the platforms, choose which course to buy next to teach myself, all that stuff. But it was the blank slate of why not?
Yeah. So now you are a business coach, or what is it that you do right now?
I describe it as a little bit more of a productivity coach, but it's not the discipline-focused productivity. It's how can you actually fit your life and your business together such that you have joy in your daily life. You feel like you have the time you want to have to spend with your kids, even pour into yourself. What about the workouts? What about the journaling? What about hobbies? What about time with your husband or partner? Instead of it being, okay, my business coach says I have to do this and this, and I really hate that launch strategy, but I've got to show up for it. Oh, my kids want me to drive them to all these games, and I have no energy. Like, instead of that version of working from home mompreneur, how about the one that's designed specifically for you and your family life?
Yeah, and how does that work then? Is this like a group coaching? Do you do more one-on-one coaching?
This is a little more one-on-one, done-for-you style, because I'm fundamentally realigning your schedule, your calendar, your to-do lists, your delegation outsourcing, or maybe lack thereof. So it needs to be extremely individualized to the person. I can teach you the broad generalities, but we know the stats on course takers. Most people are not going to take that kind of radical action because there's so many aspects of that working entrepreneur life that you have to reshuffle.
Right. I think that's the hardest part with entrepreneurship. And when I say the hardest part, I mean for me too, is primarily for me, but it is staying organized. You've probably noticed that entrepreneurs are not very organized people in general, that they're usually all over the place and they're go with the flow, which works but doesn't work all at the same time. There needs to be like a happy medium because entrepreneurs need to adjust and adapt to fluctuating schedules. But at the same time, you need to have a schedule that kind of keeps you on course and you prioritize your priorities. When I started in business, I would always make work my priority. Whereas over the last couple of years, anything for my kids, my family, like that goes in my calendar and that's my priority. And then I schedule around my priorities. And if I have kids' activities, depending on who the client is, I'll tell them I have an appointment this evening, so I'm not gonna be able to meet. So that's fine. It doesn't need to be, because sometimes you'll get people who don't like the idea of if you're working together, they're like, oh, kids' activities, that's more important. Yeah, it is more important, actually. So you got to prioritize your priorities. But so take me through the steps of when you're working with somebody one-on-one, what does that look like? Is it like a weekly coach? Is it daily? Is it monthly? Do you work with several at a time?
Yes, definitely multiple at a time. The done-for-you aspect of the program is it might take 4 or 5 months for us to get through everything, but first I want to hear this like brain dump, a super duper thorough brain dump from them. Everything about what's on your calendar, your to-do list, what do you like and dislike about your day, what are you on the hook for at home, what do you wish you were not on the hook for. Also, details about the kids, like how old are they, because that affects directly what you can ask them to be doing around the house and chores. We're not asking 6-month-old to wash laundry. We're not asking 16-year-olds to go pick up your groceries for you, probably, if they're still in driving school. Yep. So I do all that, and then I go and study for a couple weeks. All right, what about this client? What do I think I could rearrange in the puzzle pieces? I'm sitting out all the time blocking. Like, I'm trying to do everything at once. Scheduling, time blocking, delegation. What is she like? What does she not like? And then I come back with her with this like first draft of your 2.0 life and say, I can walk you through this. You tell me if I didn't land on something correctly the first time. You're like, yes, I need yoga, but I cannot do it at 3 p.m. in the afternoons. I forgot to tell you about this. Or my energy is actually too low for that, but I could do it a little bit here. So then we get the opportunity to refine a second time. And then I can say, great, here you go. Let's start living this. And do you feel like you're getting some mindset issues coming up at the thought of living into this whole new thing and telling your partner, actually, honey, I'm going to be doing this and this. I'm not available for complete family time on the weekends. I need some recharge time for me. What about with the kids? There's so many identity issues that will surface when you're doing that kind of a makeover. It's like the TV makeovers. You don't actually want to say, oh, this is wonderful, and never actually use it. So I build in an extra mindset session specifically for going over all right, walk me through your day. You just sat down with your coffee or your playlist for your meditating or your manifesting, and the kid comes up and says, Mom, I need you to do this for me. What happens next? Because we want to knock those down before you get to them so that you actually have a chance to let this stick. And then it comes with like 30 days of walking you through this in real time and stuff. But the idea is I send them off with the 2.0 unicorn bliss whatever schedule, time management strategies, delegation and outsourcing so you never have to do these things again. And they have the foundation to do it. They don't feel like it's go read a book, go do something you like. I don't know what I like. Yes, but we've already talked through it. You already know exactly how your day will play out. You already know exactly what you'll say to your husband when he says, can you go text everyone back on the family chain because they're bugging me about this? When your first response is to say, yes, I'll drop everything. Your second response is, this is client hours. That's family hours. I need to know if I can just wait till 5 p.m. and do it.
Yeah, and it's important to be able to set those time frames of this is what I'm here to do for work, because I listen to Rob Dial quite a bit, and I don't remember what he says it's called, but basically where you do 25 minutes on and then take a 5-minute break, but it is like
Pomodoro or something.
There you go, the Pomodoro effect or Pomodoro technique or something like that, where it's 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. And when it's 5 minutes off, it's not 5 minutes of let me get caught up on family stuff. It's just, hey, I'm taking a breather, because if you're focused in on work and your phone goes off or you get a notification, whether it's on your computer or your phone, that's why when I do my podcast, everything is on Do Not Disturb. Because if I'm in a conversation, I get a notification, my mind automatically goes there, I read it, and I lose my train of thought. So you want to stay focused on what you're doing, because you can actually get so much more done in a short amount of time than we ever thought possible. So 8 hours of school for kids, honestly, is way too much. I would love to be able to, I shouldn't say I would love to homeschool my kids, because I don't think I would. But I love the idea of it, because you don't need 8 hours to go to school. And you really only need 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours, if that, to get in, get focused, get your stuff done, and then you go on about your day. And that's how we need to focus on work too, and be able to work at designated times, and then, you work hard, you play hard.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more, both on the kids schooling and that thing, because maybe you had the schedule that worked right last season and you did add another kid or something, or they just got in daycare for the first time. You're going to need to switch those 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of focus. Yeah. So you can have the perfect schedule, but it's only good for this family season. There's always another iteration that's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, I like how you touch on that. So now when you're working with people, how long are you typically working with somebody? Because like you said, every family is going to have different seasons, and as kids grow, they're going to have sporting activities, so you're going to need to shift things around. So do you help your clients through all different seasons? Are you working with them for like years at a time? Is it months at a time?
So it's months at a time, but it's a come back and book in again with me anytime that family season shifts and you're like, shoot, new phase, need help, got to recalibrate.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to be able to shift with that, because my kids are in, not as much as I feel like a lot of other people are. I was talking to some moms yesterday and I'm like, holy moly, like you guys are giving me anxiety on putting so much emphasis on all these sporting activities for your kids that they can't even be kids anymore. I don't know if you see that a lot. Like people are just shoving their kids in every single event that they can be in because they want to help them find what they love, which I get, but they can't even be kids. And it's exhausting. But yeah, every season, every family has a season that's going to need a shift.
Yes, I've definitely gone through several of them, with the youngest being 5 and the oldest is prepping for university. So,
oh my goodness.
Lots of shifts.
Oh wow. Because how old is your oldest then?
16.
16. Okay. Now, what is the general, like, for somebody who maybe has younger kids, what do you typically see as like the best working schedule for them? Do you see like a routine or a pattern in most mompreneurs?
Yes. Cardinal rule. First off, we need to know, are your kids home with you all day? Do they have any preschool kind of daycare stuff? If so, work when they're there. I don't care what else you're like, it'd be nice to do this in a quiet house. No, you focus on the work. Do mom stuff when they're around. Just if you were stay-at-home mom 100% of the time, you'd be doing all the cleaning, cooking, whatever with them around. So work when they're gone. If they are with you the entire time, that's when you need work at nap time, work before they get up, maybe work in the evening, unless you're like me and your brain is mush after 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And if your kids are like not exactly napping, never mind, it's still afternoon quiet time. They still need downtime. They're not fighting with siblings. They can keep their toys to themselves. You train them to stay in their room, and you will still have that afternoon 2 to 3 hour block, plus whatever you can get in the morning. And pretty soon, you're at that 4 or 5 hours a day. It's easy.
Yeah, and just reminding people, like, you don't need the 8, 10, 12 hours a day to work. Like, you just need those couple hours of focus time. Obviously, every business is a little bit different. You're going to have shifting. So me as an agent, if I'm going to be showing homes, it's usually going to be in the evenings or weekends. Yeah. And so you have to shuffle that around. Summertime, it's a lot busier during the week. So I might be doing more activities with the kids during the week and then maybe have some more showings in the evenings and weekends. So it's like those seasons come and go and they ebb and flow.
Yes, but let's be real as moms, we didn't even like the thought of a 10-hour workday. The only thing that could possibly appeal is if we were like, if I was in this quiet, perfect office with decor exactly as I like, whatever my favorite brand of coffee is, no kids everywhere, maybe. If it was relaxing and a break. But honestly, no, we don't want to hustle for 8 to 10 hours a day.
No. And I know a lot of people want to work from home. For me, I found that not working from home, I'm so much more productive. My kids go to school during the day or daycare. So I ended up getting an office, a small office, but an office that works for me because if I can get out of the house, that's when I can focus more on work. Otherwise, for me, I don't have a designated office. And I think if I did at home, it probably would help me quite a bit. But if I don't have a designated office and I'm working from the kitchen table or the kitchen counter or in the living room, whatever, my mind is, oh, I need to go do the dishes. I need to throw in another load of laundry. So then I'm working and then I hear the buzzer go off and I get up. I'm already disconnecting. And for me to get back to where I was, even if it only took me 5 seconds to get up and move over the laundry or a minute, that took away 15, 20 minutes to get me back to where I was when I got up to walk away. So I have found for me that getting out and getting into an office is what works best.
Exactly. It's what I'm always trying to tell my clients. The standard productivity advice is, but you shouldn't let yourself get distracted by the buzzer going off on the washer. You should just ignore it and make yourself keep working. Yes, but what if that really jolts you out of your rhythm? What if you literally can't make yourself ignore the housekeeping? My idea is, well, just take the easy way around it, like what you just did. I will go work outside the home in my office. I will never run into that issue. Yes, we need to retrain our brains, but sometimes it's a lot easier to just find the alternate street that takes you around that problem entirely.
Or shut the buzzer off. But yeah, that's how I've just learned from very early on. My husband worked from home for many years, and I could not understand how he could get work done. And I'd go home and the plates from the kids for their breakfast is still sitting on the table. How did you not pick that up? Like, how does that not bother you? But men, that doesn't bother men. But for me, it would bother me. Which now he has an office and he will admit, because it took him forever. Because he is very productive from home. But I'm just like, you are so much more productive when you get outside the house. And he admitted it too. He was like, that is a game changer. Especially because whenever the kids were sick or if we didn't have daycare, he was the one who was stuck with them at home. Where now he has an office to go to, we both kind of tag team it. So you got to find what works for you guys. And again, it's going to change and ebb and flow and do all the things.
Yes, for sure. Because sometimes that's what you need from the work at home life is to say, yes, my productivity is going to nosedive, but I could get some work done and the kids are sick and I didn't have to pay the babysitter and I didn't need to send them sick to school. And some family students, you're like, no, the productivity in my work hours is super important. I cannot have that distraction going on. I have metrics I need to meet. This is not going to work.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So Alyssa, where do you see your business going from here? Are you wanting to continue to grow it? Do you have a certain amount of clientele you want to work with on a regular basis? What does that look like for you?
Yes. No, I definitely want to grow. I tend to be the sort of person who's, that's marked off. That was too easy. What's the next thing? So yeah. I have some ridiculously ambitious goals and things.
I don't think anything is ridiculous. I really don't.
Great, wonderful. So I won't shock you that I'm like, I wonder what $1 million business would look like.
Oh, that's 100%. Like I literally have it says $500, I'm worth $500 an hour for 35 hours a week, and that puts me just a little over $1 million GCI. So you have to have those goals. You set that there. I set it in front of me. I also have here that I'm going to retire my parents at $10,000 a month by the age of something for them, by the age of 65 for them. How? I don't know, because they're not gonna let me just give them money, so I gotta find, but I have it in front of me, so I'm always looking for opportunities. No, so I don't find that crazy at all, because anything is achievable, but if you don't have those goals, you're never going to get there.
Exactly. And yeah, how along the way, I'm holding that more loosely, because I'm about to shift into a bunch more season changing with the eldest going off to college in a year and her sister wants to follow the year after that. So we're going to have to rejigger everything about the home life when we shrink the family size and promote people to take over all of those chores and promote other people into high school level work and all of this stuff. So I'm like, I don't need to set $1 million goals for 3 years from now if we're about to hit some giant family transitions. But why not by the time you graduate from college or something like that? And understand that the path always appears, but you don't generally see as far ahead as you'd like to. But you might see the next couple steps.
And I like to set goals of a certain time frame or like a certain year, because a lot of times people are like, oh, in 5 years. Okay, if you keep saying in 5 years, that 5 years is never going to come.
Oh, I know.
And it's interesting because I'll never forget, this was with a boyfriend long time ago. And I remember him saying that he wants to open a gym. And I was super young prior to entrepreneurship, and he wants to start a gym. He's started in 5 years. And I'm like, but why? Like, why 5 years? Why not now? And he's like, I just don't have the means right now. And I was thinking to myself, like, that's it. I just thought that was so interesting. I'm like, why are you waiting 5 years? What are you, okay, let's say you do have a 5-year goal. What are you going to be doing between now and 5 years to hit that 5-year mark? It's because so many people overestimate what they can do in 5 years, but underestimate what they can do in a year. Because they say, oh, in 5 years, I plan to do this. But they're not.
Magical, huge thing.
Yeah, but they're not taking those daily steps to get them to that 5-year goal. And so It's wild to me. Oh, this is my goal in 5 years. Do you think you're just going to magically wake up and everything is going to be what you wanted? Or are you going to need to start doing the work now? Because you're going to need to start doing the work now.
Oh yeah, take mortgages. Great, I've got this wonderful new house. What if I want to pay it down faster? You can't just hope that your interest or your PMI will go away. You've got to actually set that goal. Yes. I want my PMI gone in 3 years. I want my mortgage paid off in 10 years, whatever it is, and then actually take the steps towards it.
And then what does that look like? If you want it paid off in 10 years and here's your interest rates and this is your insurance and your taxes, you have to accommodate or adjust for inflation and cost to go up. But what are you going to have to make every month? What's that additional principal balance that you're going to have to apply?
Exactly.
But
you also what do you have to cut to make that principal balance?
Exactly. And then you also have to keep in mind, okay, if you have a 2% interest rate on your home, but you can turn around and you could either take $100,000 and pay off your mortgage or at least a good portion of it, or you could take $100,000, put it into an investment and generate yourself 20%. What makes more sense?
Yes. And you have the discipline to use that investment thing for something wise, not just say, this was smarter, but I'm going to go blow the money.
But I wasted it. And so I heard this a long time ago. It's like the wealthy don't ever truly pay off their mortgage because it's some of the cheapest money you can borrow. Like right now, my mortgage is 2.1%. Why would I try to pay it off? Why not go put that money into an investment or pay off something else that has higher interest rate? But you got to be cognizant of all of those things. And like you said, you don't want to just take the money out of if you're going to do a cash out refi, and it's at a 5% interest rate, you don't go blow that money. You don't go spend it on a new vehicle or a trip or stuff that your hobbies, but you want to reinvest it. So that way you can use the money to pay down your mortgage. So that's how business and entrepreneur and investment all works.
Yes, it's just like there's so many layers. First you're like, oh, this is the smart route. Then you get one layer deeper. Oh, and it's that one for that reason. But that one's got another onion skin behind it, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you can go down a whole rabbit hole when it comes to investments. It's just a game changer. It really is. It's interesting. I think it's fun, but there's also a lot of risk to it too. But Alyssa, if somebody is interested in getting connected with you and maybe getting into your coaching program and coaching with you one-on-one, where do they go to be able to do that?
You can come find me at yourunbusylife.com, or if you're a podcast listener, just search for The Unbusy Mom. We have new super bite-sized podcast episodes, so new ones like every Tuesday and Thursday, because hey, we're moms, we're working moms, we're busy. How about a 5-minute episode that gets you in and out with your little nugget of transformation? Yeah. And then if you're ready to clear your too much going on plate and banish the pressure from the high-performing entrepreneur mother to-do list, I'll break down how to release the pressure valve in your time management in an exclusive audio feed, The Time Back Secrets for Work-at-Home Moms, and I think that link will be in the show notes for you.
Yes, absolutely. They will. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Get in touch with her. I know she'd love to take you on as a client and be able to navigate your busy life or unbusy your life. I love that. That's so cool. So Alyssa, what is one piece of advice you would give to maybe your younger self or somebody who's getting into the entrepreneurship world?
If you feel like you missed the boat, it's okay. It will come back around. You rarely have only a one chance thing in life. I wanted to write. I chose not to in college. Look what I'm doing now. I am writing as part of my online business. You'll always have a second chance at it, and if it comes around, you will be more mature, you'll be faster, it will all work out.
Yeah. Yep. I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for joining me today and in your unbusy schedule. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it's very busy, but I truly appreciate you being here. And if anybody is interested in connecting with her, make sure you reach out. Leave us a 5-star review on this podcast. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to share with anybody that you feel may also benefit as well. Again, leave us a 5-star review, subscribe, and also go check out Alyssa's Unbusy podcast as well.
Thank you so much, Shae.
And that wraps up another inspiring episode of the Real Moms Podcast. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their story and insights today. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And hey, sharing is caring, right? Share this podcast with your fellow mompreneurs, friends, and anyone who you feel could use a dose of inspiration. Share it on your social media as well. But most importantly, if you found this episode helpful, please, please, please leave me a 5-star review. This helps get our information out to those who have never heard or seen us before. Are you feeling inspired and you're sure that you could add some value to the podcast? Shoot me a message and let's talk. We love hearing from you. So connect with us on social media. Tag me at Shae J Spitz, that's ShaeJSpitz, and share your thoughts and takeaways, or even suggest topics you'd like to have us explore more in the future episodes. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Your resilience is your strength, and your pursuit of abundant living is truly remarkable. As always, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep embracing the beautiful chaos of being a mompreneur. Until next time, take care, stay real, and keep living abundantly.